Hi, I'm Christian Brindle, and welcome to the Everything Medicare Podcast.
What's up, Everything Medicare Podcast Nation? This is Christian Brindle. Wherever you are and however you might be listening to me today, I hope this podcast episode finds you doing well. This is episode 177. This is the Everything Medicare Podcast, where every single week I bring you 3 podcast episodes where we discuss your Medicare, your Medicaid, your Social Security, and everything that has to do with that golden age called retirement. Folks, I hope you had a fantastic weekend, as good as you possibly could. I know most of you, a majority of us, are cooped up in our homes. With everything going on in our country at the moment with the coronavirus, this is a once-in-a-100-year pandemic and situation. Once in 100 years. This has not happened in, I'd say, almost all of our lifetimes. I'd say the closest thing to this would probably be the Spanish flu pandemic that took place in the early 1900s. But other than that, I don't think that there's anything that comes close to this from a pandemic perspective. Nothing to the point that I can ever recall that the country has basically been shut down. I'm working from home, as many of you know, and my staff is working from home. Our office has basically been shut down. We're still operational. We're still doing business. We're still working the same amount of time that we've always been working before. But this is a very, very unusual situation. So if you have been impacted by this pandemic, if anybody in your family, a loved one, a friend, neighbor, has been impacted by this pandemic, wherever you're listening to this from, my heart goes out to you. I hope that you or your loved one gets better very soon if they have been infected. And I'm sorry that you're having to go through this, and I'm sorry for our country that we're having to go through this right now. But I do believe that we will overcome it. I believe that we will get past it. And it's just a crazy situation, but I do hope you had a good weekend, as good as you possibly can. I don't know about you folks, but I have not been going out of my house very much. The most that I've been going outside of my home has been going for walks around the block with my daughter, who's almost 11 months old now, and my wife, Stormy. And every now and then we'll go for a drive. Maybe we'll go to the store if we need something, but I'm trying not to. I think we're pretty stocked up. And other than that, I'm just working. Trying to do the same things that we always do, but doing it from a different location. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of strange. It's kind of weird. I actually do enjoy going to the office because, there's not as many distractions, although I'm a pretty laser-focused person. It's crazy what's going on right now. So I hope everybody that's listening to this is doing well. Hopefully this will blow over sooner than later. I mean, I'm far from an expert on the topic. I just pay attention, and I pay attention to what's going on the same as everybody else. So just wanted to mention that to start this episode off. So episode 177, folks, if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Christian Brindle. I own an insurance agency just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah called Christian Brindle Insurance Services. And we specialize in Medicare health plans. We partner with all of the largest companies that do business in the United States of America. And whether that be Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare Supplement plans, Medicare Part D prescription drug plans, cancer plans, dental plans, whatever the case might be, we partner with them to help people on Medicare, and we work with people in 10 states. We're in the process of picking up Washington. So to update our state list, we are located in Utah, so obviously we're there. Utah, Idaho, Colorado, Oregon, soon to be Washington, soon to be California, Texas, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. So officially 10 states. Once California and Washington are done, Washington should be done any day now. Folks, anytime you see a product come out that is incredibly successful, no matter if it's insurance or maybe it's something unrelated, right? I mean, who remembers when the iPod first came out in the early 2000s from Apple? When Steve Jobs brought the world the iPod. How many knockoffs of the iPod did we see? And from other competitors, yes, but also how many times did Apple try to put out a product that was basically like a hybrid version of an iPod until we got to the iPhone? We saw the iTouches. We saw, we saw different versions of iPods, different things that did different things. And some of them were very successful. I'm not saying that they weren't all successful, but some of them weren't. And some of them were just basically iPods that were trying to hybrid and do a couple of additional things, but they were piggybacking off the idea of an iPod. We see this in different kind of industries, do we not? I bet while I'm talking about this right now, you can think of a couple of different industries that do exactly the same thing. Let's talk about pizza. I love pizza. Do you like pizza? How many times have we seen a pizza company, whether it be Pizza Hut or Domino's or somebody like that, come up with some weirdo pizza brand or pizza topping or pizza combination of toppings? And sometimes it's really successful and quite the hit, and other times people just think it's weird. Different industries are always trying to come up with new ideas that are basically centered around the original idea of their product, but they're a little different and they're kind of looked at as, in some cases, as a niche kind of product. That's what we're going to be talking about today in this episode. Select Medicare supplement plans. What are Select Medicare supplement plans? Well, what they are is they're Medicare supplement plans offered through private insurance companies. We all know this. I mean, basically, what do we know about Medicare supplement plans? Medigap plans, two names for the same thing. If you haven't been listening to me for a while, you'd know that Medigap and Medicare supplement are one in the same. In the Medicare world, they come up with multiple different names for the same product, just like Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part C are the same freaking thing, right? Just like PDP plans and Medicare Part D are the same thing. But what do we know about Medicare supplement Medigap plans? Well, what we know is the plans are designed by the government, right? All these plans that you see floating around in the Medicare supplement world, the Plan Fs of the world, the Plan Gs of the world, the Plan Ns of the world. If any of you are listening that might have Plan Js from back in the day, these are plans that were designed by the government. The benefits were thought up and put together by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and then offered to private insurance companies to market. So the insurance company literally has no say as far as what the benefits are going to entail. They have to pick up the Plan G for the way it is, the Plan N for the way it is, the Plan F for the way it is. But the two things they get to determine is the price, the rate, and also the rate increases long term. I guess you could say there's a third thing included in that. They're allowed to determine if they want to add in some extra perks on top of it, such as silver sneakers, such as maybe some eyeglasses discounts, maybe some hearing discounts, stuff like that. Usually pretty minuscule things in the scheme of things. The gym membership benefit's pretty nice. But other than that, they're pretty insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But other than that, they have to take the plans for the way they are and offer them the way they are. But every so often, we're going to see something that works a little differently than that. That's like a hybrid of these plans. And that's the best way I can explain Medicare Select plans. Medicare Supplement Select plans. I have to take a quick break, folks, here from this week's sponsor. Don't go anywhere. In segment 2, when I come back, I will tell you exactly what Medicare Select supplement plans are, what they do, how they work, what it means to you. Why does it matter? Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody! Thanks so much for sticking with me through that break, okay? Folks, these plans that I'm about to tell you about in my opinion, are kind of weird. They're a little odd. They're a little strange. They're not big sellers, but they do exist in certain areas and certain markets with only certain insurance companies. So Medicare Select Medicare supplement plans are this. What do we know about Medicare supplements other than what I talked about in the first segment? Well, we know that they typically don't have networks, right? They don't have networks of hospitals and doctors. They basically give you the freedom to go wherever you like, as long as the doctor or hospital takes Medicare first. Nowadays in the United States of America, depending on your source, anywhere between 97% to 99% of doctors in the United States take Medicare. There's still a few here and there that don't. More of a needle in the haystack kind of deal than anything else. Not to say that you can't encounter them, but you kind of got to be looking for them sometimes. It's not common, let's put it that way. All 50 states, most doctors are going to take Medicare, which means in turn, they're required to take your Medicare supplement after that. There is no network with a traditional Medicare supplement plan, whether it be a Plan F, a Plan G, a Plan N. But what makes Medicare Select Medicare supplements different is their Medicare supplement plans that do have networks. That's right. Hybrid plans. Medicare Select supplemental insurance plans typically select a certain area. They will select a group of hospitals or maybe a couple different group of hospitals in a certain area, and they'll give them a network of hospitals they can go to. Now, that typically they can still go to the different doctors they want to, but hospitals is kind of where they're kind of stuck. Okay? And typically what they'll do is they'll offer a plan like a Select F or a Select G or a Select N, depending on where you're located. And you're basically getting all the benefits of a Plan F, a Plan G, a Plan N, whatever the plan is. But they're the benefits that are restricted and confined into a network. And what's in it for you is they'll typically give it to you for a cheaper price. Sometimes it's pretty significantly cheaper. So is that worth it, in my opinion? Well, I think it has its place. I think for some people, the Medicare Supplement Select plans are nice because, they're for people that don't go anywhere, for people that don't go on vacation, they're going to be fine. For people that never plan to leave their house, never plan to leave their area, or if they leave their house, it's going to be within, the area that they live. It's going to be all right for those kind of people. But for anybody that does a significant amount of traveling, I'm not a big fan of it for those people for that reason, because even if you're getting a discount on your premium, you're still paying the Medicare supplement premium. Just a little bit cheaper than normal. But you're still paying the Medicare supplement premium, but you're not getting the protection out of your area. So it's only giving you the protection when you're home, when you're in your home state, when you're in your area, when you're going to the hospitals in your area, or certain hospitals that company works with in the area. Typically, it's not every hospital. Could be, depending on the area. I think it has its place, but I think it has its place for people that want the benefits of a Medicare supplement but don't ever go anywhere. Like during normal times, when there's no coronavirus, when there's no pandemic going on. I believe that most people, especially people that are retired, want to do some kind of traveling. Now, some do more than others, but people want to go on cruises. When it's safe, of course. No one's going on cruises right now. They're actually not allowed to. But people want to go to a different city, get a hotel, do some sightseeing. Go to a sports game in New York City if you don't live in New York City. That's always been a dream of mine. I've been to Yankee Stadium. I saw the old Yankee Stadium before they tore it down. But I've never been to Madison Square Garden. I'd love to go. But what if I got no coverage for my insurance in New York City? I'd prefer to have some kind of coverage. Wouldn't you? But if I'm just going to stay in Salt Lake City, go see the Mormon temple, go downtown, go to Salt Lake City, go to Park City, everything that we got here in my area, but never go anywhere else. Would a plan like that work for me? Yeah, probably would. And I'm not someone that does a whole bunch of traveling, but I do enough to basically put me in that area of concern. So that's basically the catch with a Select Medicare supplement. They give you all the benefits of a regular Medicare supplement, same exact coverage for a reduced price, but you're bound by a network. Select means select hospitals. They have select hospitals that you have to go to and no others. Folks, don't go anywhere. I have some final thoughts I'd like to share with you on this topic in our third and final segment. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Stay with me. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with me all the way to the end on this episode of the Everything Medicare Podcast. My final thoughts on Select Medicare supplement plans are these. I have found normally that people go that direction, have an easier time transitioning it into a Medicare Advantage plan later if they so choose to, if they want to just save the premium. I've had people do that because they're used to the network anyway. In some aspects even, there are some Medicare Advantage plans that might give you more options on where you can go than a Medicare Supplement Select would. Depending on the area, of course. This isn't the same everywhere, and it's not a blanket statement. But usually I do see that. Kind of gets you prepared for those restrictions that come with a Medicare Advantage plan. I've told you before on this platform, and I'll say it again, I think that both sides of the coin, Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplements, are valuable. They both have their place, and there's people that need to be on both. I really don't give a damn what anybody else says about that. There's people on the internet that, say there's no situations that someone needs to be on a Medicare Advantage, and I know exactly why they're saying that, and I've said it before on this platform, and I'll say it once more. They're saying that because they have a complete bias to only sell you Medicare supplements for their own selfish needs and desires, because they're not going to have as much customer service, because it's the same benefits anywhere. They don't have to learn different plans at a state. They're not thinking about what's best for you. But that being said, I've said before, if I had to lean one way or the other, Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage, and there was a gun to my head and I had to pick one, I would pick Medicare Supplement, because I don't believe that you can ever get screwed over by a Medicare Supplement plan. Ever. I mean, you have full coverage or very close to full coverage depending on the plan. You don't have networks, you don't have restrictions, but when you have a Medicare Supplement plan that gives you a network, it kind of takes some of that charm away, some of that allure, some of the positivity. It's almost like you're combining the two plans together in a sense, a little bit. And I've never been a big fan of that. Both sides have their positives, both sides have their negatives, and let's just leave it at that. Why take the two plans and try to mix them up a little bit? And that's kind of what the Medicare Select plans come across to me as. And so I've never been a big fan of them. I do think they have their place. I think for some people they're okay. But if it was me, and I was turning 65 and I was going to go Medicare Supplement, I want a traditional one. I wouldn't want a Select one, personally. I'd want a G. I'd want an N. Regular G, a regular N. With a good insurance company, with low rate increase histories the last 5 to 10 years that I can track and look back on. With a company name that I recognize, that's doing well financially, because that has a lot to do with how their rate increases are going to go in the future. So anyway, folks, just wanted to share some final thoughts with you on that. And for everybody that's, stuck at home, like me, we will get through this. I appreciate you spending some of your time with me, and we will go through this together. I will not stop bringing you episodes, 3 a week, every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. We will not stop. We will continue to bring you new information, new content about everything that in the world of Medicare. Anything that's going on with this crisis that has to do with Medicare or might affect you, we will do episodes about it. We will bring it to you as quickly as it comes to us. Last week we did an episode where there was a special enrollment period that was announced by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Well, not announced. It was announced by the insurance companies. 15 of them, as a matter of fact, all at the same time. And then a couple days later, they sent out a retraction saying, no, just kidding, there's going to be no special enrollment period at this time. So we had to backpedal. Everybody that we couldn't just delete the episode because everyone that already heard it had heard it. So I had to put up a retraction. Super embarrassing. But that's the incompetence of our government. Right? I mean, I just report on what's being reported, and it was reported everywhere. Like I said, we got email notifications from 15 different insurance companies. I talked to tons of people in the industry, said this is happening. It was happening, and then all of a sudden it wasn't happening. So as far as I'm concerned, bad reporting, bad information, but at the end of the day, it makes me look bad, and I apologize about that. Never had that happen before on this show, but at the same time, we've never had information like that sent out from multiple different insurance companies, and I'm talking the big dogs, the biggest insurance companies in the industry, and then a couple days later, they're like, oh, just kidding. That was complete bull. And when you do a nationally broadcast show like this one, word like that travels fast. So anyway, folks, if you're about to be on Medicare, you're turning 65, just because we're working from home and working remotely does not mean that I cannot help you. I listed at the beginning of the episode the states that we're allowed to work with you in, we're licensed to work with you in. If you'd like to talk with me, call our office at 801-255-5340, 801-255-5340. I have access to our office lines because of our technology. 801-255-5340. Ask for Christian, or you're welcome to send me an email if you're more comfortable with that, at Christian, Christian, B as in boy, at xmission.com. Christian B at xmission.com. Or if you're already on Medicare, you have a Medicare supplement plan, you're just not sure if you have the best price, the best rate, you want to have it compared, I'd be happy to do that for you as well. Folks, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening today. And I hope you have a fantastic Monday, fantastic week, and we'll be back with you on Wednesday.